AJ, what color was the athletic director that lied? I have a question. What color was he?
Black.
He looked like us. He looked like us.
He was one of the blacks.
He looked like us.
One of the blacks.
Yeah.
Race hoaxes by black people have been going on for a while. I don't know if you all remember, like the Jenna 6. That was like a number of years ago. If racism is so rampant that they had to make it up. Not to mention Jesse, what the Dave Chappelle called Juicy Smollett.
Right. But my thing is that you won't use your gifts and your talents to make Pikesville High School better. You won't use your gifts and your talents to help those black children test their way out of a paper bag. Your words, not his.
Right.
But you will use it. You will use it to frame poor little white guy. Right. And that's why I said, like, with the people that blacks are fighting, they're not fighting the Kim Kardashians. They're not fighting the Nancy Pelosi's. They bow to these people. They're not fighting the AOCs. They bow to them. You're fighting old Joe Schmo down the street. You fighting the Derek Chauvins, the people who come and show up when your boyfriend is knocking you upside your head.
And speaking of manufactured racism, wait until you guys hear this story. So this is a local story here right out of Baltimore that actually got national news. Here, Pikesville High School. A Pikesville High School employee was arrested this Thursday for allegedly creating AI-generated tape of the school's principal making racist remarks. So this was big news here. Like this happened maybe a month ago, maybe almost
2 months, something like that, a month or two ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago where it was all over the news where this high school here. Do you guys, anyone want to explain the story?
Yeah. So it was a high school, I think in Pikesville, Baltimore County, where the principal was recorded. Allegedly recorded talking about black, I don't know the quote, but black students are dumb, and just his students basically, they're not able to read and things like that. When it first came out, one of my first questions was, did he lie?
He didn't lie.
Did he lie? That was my first question, right?
Kelly, hold on. He said they can't test their way out of a paper bag.
Yeah, it was bad.
Did he lie? That's number one. And then he was talking, he made the comments on the comments on the recording were directed, some of them were directed at the Jews in the neighborhood and some derogatory comments. Well, people jumped on it, whether for or against, true or not, they jumped on it, of course, because anytime you say anything quote unquote racist, black people are going to jump on that bandwagon, even if they have done zero investigation. They don't know any other facts. All they know is some white person was accused of saying something racist against black people.
Yeah.
It was major news here. It was big. I mean, a lot of the African American community was all up in arms about it, and well, it turned out to be a Jussie Smollett hoax.
Wow.
The athletic director actually used some type of AI technology to mimic this principal's voice, which the principal, of course, was white, to make a big issue. Go ahead, Crystal. What were you?
KJ, what color was the athletic director that lied? I have a question. What color was he?
Black.
He looked like us. He looked like us.
He was one of the blacks.
He looked like us.
One of the blacks.
Yeah.
Race hoaxes by black people have been going on for a while. I don't know if you all remember, like the Jenna 6. That was like a number of years ago. If racism is so rampant that they had to make it up. Not to mention Jesse, what the Dave Chappelle called Juicy Smollett.
But my thing is that you won't use your gifts and your talents to make Pikesville High School better. You won't use your gifts and your talents to help those black children test their way out of a paper bag. Your words, not his.
Right.
But you will use it to frame poor little white guy. Right. And that's why I said, like, with the people that blacks are fighting, they're not fighting the Kim Kardashians. They're not fighting the Nancy Pelosi's. They bow to these people. They're not fighting the AOCs. They bow to them. You're fighting old Joe Schmo down the street. You fighting the Derek Chauvins, the people who come and show up when your boyfriend is knocking you upside your head or when you hear gunshots in your neighborhood. You're fighting those little old white people that don't have nothing to do with nothing.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Go ahead. I was gonna say one of the things. I mean, beside this thing, like you said, Crystal, the guy looked just like us, right?
Yeah.
And those really were his words that he was projecting onto this man. Black people, or some of them, are so obsessed with racism, and they want to hold white people responsible for everything that's wrong in their lives. Now, what I don't, being an American, I don't like it when people are accused of something and there has been no investigation, but this man was removed from his job.
Wow.
Removed from his job while the investigation was taking place, right? I don't know if he lost pay or not, but he lost the position, at least temporarily. So the people whose reputations are being ruined, they're the ones who get removed instead of being given the benefit of the doubt until the investigation comes to full fruition. Thankfully, it has come and they have the right person. But look at the damage this has done to this man.
Yeah, and I haven't seen it a single person on my timeline talk about the lies that they told on this person. So everybody was sharing the fact that he said this, but like you said, when the truth comes out, no one shares that. And so this poor guy, his reputation has been ruined, and nobody's coming out and saying, "Hey, the blacks, they lied." Nobody's saying that.
How do you restore that? I mean, I'm just saying in general, how do you restore your reputation? Because like you said, a lie can go around 6-7 times faster than the truth.
Yeah,
it's terrible. It is. They did a press conference on it here. Take a look at this. Oh, so there you have it. But to me, the deeper issue to this is the fact that they believe that they can do this. And this will, in fact, get the weaponization of race is so crazy right now. And he did that because he knew he would create a large pushback.
Yeah,
he lied.
It's the same. It goes along on a local level with this oppression, victimization mentality, this model. The colleges have, expanded it, but on the local level, it's here. We have said before that we know we're Black, right? But we know there are plenty of Black people who literally are obsessed with white people and their projections of racism or oppression from white directed towards Black. This white principal, and I'm just saying white principal just for the sake of this argument, this white principal was probably the best thing those students needed at that school. He probably has done a lot more for those students, helped them in all kinds of ways, making sure they had, a really good education. But you have this idiot who probably maybe is stealing the funds. And because he was investigated, so that means that the white man was really looking out for how the money is being managed to help the children that he's claiming is racist towards him.
Yeah. And a good amount of Black children. A good amount of Black children. Because Pikesville High School has a large Black population.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think my bigger issue, right, is that people like that, we see these people all the time. Like these people are just complete and utter degenerates in the Black community, but embraced by the Black community. And then you won't hear Roland Martin talk about it. You won't hear any kind of race hustler come to like, hey, you guys, this is not what we're about. Like even with the Jussie Smollett situation, like you won't get the so-called Black leaders to say, hey, yo, this is not what we're about. And if you're doing this, like you're not invited to the cookout. But you'll ostracize the people like Candace Owens. You'll ostracize the people like us. You'll ostracize people who don't agree with you politically. And embrace this kind of behavior. That's why we always say, but I know I in particular, I don't want to speak for you guys. Like, I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to, like, if this is Black, no, thank you. I'll be a child of the light, like KJ said on her podcast the other day. She was like, I'm a daughter of the light. I'm not black. Like this is crazy. I'm so embarrassed, and I'm embarrassed for my brown skinned children that get associated with this. Like,
I said it, like I said, like you mentioned. I have a podcast, guys. Check it out. 8:30 show here on YouTube. We talk about pop culture and politics from a biblical perspective. But I talked about that. I don't want to be associated with racial characterization. I am not black. I am a daughter of the king, daughter of the kingdom. That's what it is. You know, from a Christian point of view, faith point of view. That's what I said, because this type of we cannot identify with this community any longer based on our values. Our values
are not the same.
It's not the same anymore.
They're not the same.
I love
KJ, you said something. For decades, literally, I have been telling people when I sign paperwork, or they ask you the demographics, I would write in human American, right? People, oh, you're not black. You don't want. I'm a human American. That and I sometimes I would say I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. That's who I am. I just happen to be in a brown skin body. Okay, so what? There are millions of people who in all kinds. I think God had enough creativity and enough, I'm going to call it holy diversity, to know what he was doing when he made all of us look however we look. In whatever skin we're born in. I love that. That's the best kind of diversity. And it has nothing to do with just your skin. That's creativity and diversity to me. But ultimately, he made us human. And so that's what I've been saying for years.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it's also a testament to the arrogance, and also the dishonesty. Like, there's not a single thing that we did to make our skin brown. Like, not a single thing. I couldn't imagine it up. I couldn't request it. My mom couldn't request. Like, there's not a single thing that I did to make my skin brown, but yet and still we lean on that and we showcase that. But we're the only dum-dums, or I say they blacks are the only dum-dums that actually do that. You don't see Asian people like talking about, I love my eyes, chink here. Like, nobody does this foolishness but the blacks. You don't see other cultures doing like praising something that they had nothing to do with.
Absolutely.
Exactly.